What is it, loaded? Jesus Christ, fucking Windows. G'day, and welcome to the Spiral Frontier. And we've got a treat for you today. 2 awesome players, and it's a best of 3. Let's see how we go. First thing we have, let's hide this bullshit. We have Locklear, who, I mean, seriously, does this guy need an introduction? He's Locklear, for fuck's sake. And he is playing the Tech Marine, and he has some pretty neat looking shit on him. Looks nice and cool. And he is up versus Norni. And again, Norni, does he need introduction? Now, Norni doesn't seem to have all the fancy junk all over his hero, but he is actually a very, very good player. And this is the best of 3. I'm pretty sure it comes from an actual competition. But the thing is, I lost the bloody thread. Like, I downloaded this and I went, yeah, and then I had all this other shit to do, so it took me like about a day or something to go cast it. And then for some reason I thought that the one I downloaded had a warlock in it. And then I couldn't find the thread that where I originally got this replay from, so I can't find any information about it. It's just a mess. The whole thing is a fucking mess. But regardless, we have our first engagement, and just a couple of scouts versus this big blob of orcs. They have to get out of there quick, smart. Don't even know why they even bothered stayed. Probably just a bit of a micro issue. Now, the Tax are coming into melee. Now, Tax do actually own orcs in this, melee fight. But with and that's exactly why they retreated. But with 2 units, you're able to coordinate your retreat and, go back into range mode and keep on the toes. But the Tech Marine here is definitely gonna put that out. Okay, we've got the mech boy hiding over here, and he is getting Death Gun. And we also have the bionics for the Tech Marine. We probably don't have any upgrades on the orcs yet because of that early mech boy. There you can see it. Boom! Absolutely devastating. Now, I don't believe that there's actually a set-up time, even though it's running at an arc. And it looks like he did bash his power while I was paying attention up the top. And we've got another power bash going on here. Again, these guys are going to be forced off. Wow. Now, see that big swipe that just killed all those orcs? That was the special bionic gave him that sort of big melee hit. And you saw it being used to absolute fantastic use. And Norni really not doing too well at the moment. They have a very light tier 1. Apart from having the armor upgrades on the actual heroes, they have a fairly light T1 this for both players. Now they haven't been having too much of a wreck bleed. There's a full power gen farm up for Norni, but of course not for Locklear because he just had it totally smashed. He's putting down some now, but just a little bit late. So Norni does have the opportunity to get into tier 2 much sooner. And I'm sure this is exactly what we're going to be seeing. Wow, Norni is really using the mech commander quite well here to keep control of the map, just keep those units suppressed in the whole time. Locklear is definitely going to want to move to, probably, I would think he would want to be moving to Assault Marines to try and deal with this lockdown unit. Look at the range of that, it's just insane. Another gen cap. And these scouts are going to be in trouble, but they do have the backup of the Tech Marine, so these orcs are going to get the hell out of here. I don't think he's going to chase him, he's going to go and decap that VP. And again, just teleporting in and locking down those units with the suppression fire. Absolutely ridiculously powerful ability, especially in early tier. And Norni, look at Norni. He's got a... Why isn't he in tier 2? How much has he got? Looks like he hasn't got the power, but he has got the wreck, that is for sure. And Locklear is actually heading to tier 2 first, which is a little bit of a surprise. But look at that wreck. He just popped his tier 2 purchase and he's still got tons and tons of wreck. You can see the immense damage that Tech Marine is putting out. And they're going to have to get out of there as well. So, what are we going to see next? I think Locklear probably come out with a Razorback, I guess, now, to try and negate some of that suppression fire. You know, you can load them up in there and move around. Oh, and that is just so powerful, that guy. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, negate some of that teleporting suppression power by sticking him in a vehicle would probably be a pretty good idea. But you can see how immensely powerful this ability and how this mech commander is absolutely controlling the entire board almost single-handedly. Nice. Out comes the Weird Boy. Now the Weird Boy is probably one of my favourite units in the game, even though it's a dreaded fucking orc. You know, and I'm not a big fan of orcs, but I really don't see much of a reason not to get that Weird Boy ever. I mean, if you're playing Orc, I don't know why you wouldn't put this in your build queue at some point. You know, if you could afford it, especially. Because it just has such utility. And here comes the Assault Squad to deal with that suppression unit. And we do have a War Truck coming out to allow these shooter boys to get a little bit more protection, because they are absolutely getting hammered on the retreat path by that swipe ability. We have upgraded to the Master Crafter Bolter, which gives him like a sort of high powered shot, it says here, but what it is, it's just like a, you know, kind of like clicking on a sniper shot, you know. Boom, splat. Those guys are out of there. Let's take a look at this guy. How freaking awesome is he? How do we follow him? Yeah, boy. Get up there. Shoot the fuck out of people. War. Let's get a bit better position. And you can see the assault squad is doing exactly what they're designed to do. Nice warp vomits, saving his commander here. Now these guys are going to have to get the hell out of there because their jump packs are down. That was a very, very good combination, and you saw the combination of the warp vomit and then the teleport and resetting up the team. Very, very nice play there by Norni. Norni. I keep saying Nonny because of StarCraft. Norni. Okay, interesting. Flamers. I'm not quite sure what the reasoning behind the flamers are. I guess he wants to use the truck for quick strikes into his power farm. And again, targeting the wrong unit. Probably should go for that warp boy. Another warp bomber is going to go on here, which is going to stun them. Something crack, and down comes the extra squads. And Norni really seems to be in an unstoppable position here. Not because he has particularly... Oh, those poor scouts. Not because he's particularly got a better setup or anything, but he really is just showing incredible control of the battlefield right now. And that is really going to come back and hurt Locklear in the later on. Okay, we do have the upgrade of the scout on the... Whoa. You know, I don't actually see that very often. The ability to go invisible on the scouts. It'll be interesting to see if what exactly the reasoning behind that is. Nice knockback using the Bionics ability. And boom! There goes that grenade. That's a very strong grenade against vehicles. It's an upgrade. It's called Thunder and Lightning. But the thing is, these trucks, they're so cheap, you know, like people just let them die and buy new ones, you know. Their utility is to get people in and out of the battlefield. Living and dying isn't really a problem. And since they changed the vehicle, like it used to when your vehicles blew up, everybody inside them died, so no one ever fucking used vehicles at all. And once that change came in, people stopped really worrying about how fragile things like the war truck were. Now let's check out the VP. The situation is quite even. Of course, being able to use his teleporting abilities, giving him the chance to keep control of the map, but he is going for a 3 cap right now. So unless these scouts are able to force people off at some point. Oh dear. And he's out of there. He was invisible at the time. Could he have sneaked up and dropped a grenade spike? I guess we'll never know. Another zap, smack straight into the landscape. And again, Norni is just up in fucking Locklear's shit, just pushing him right back to his base, and at the same time getting the entire map capped. It's just for these scouts over here. I'll just quickly zap there. You wouldn't even see blue on the map. Now Locklear's wreck and power is actually fairly high. He is in tier 3. His red is not high enough for Terminator calling yet, and we know how much that can really change the tide. You know, Space Marines, they just get harder and harder and harder, you know. They get these immense comebacks. They're extremely fun to play. Very, very annoying to play against. So what Norni needs to do here is press his advantage. Keep an eye on his squads. He does not want to lose any squads by accident here. He just wants to keep Locklear pressured into this corner. And here comes the Terminators. Oh no, it is a Venerable Death Dread. Sorry, I forgot we are playing a fucking Tech Marine. And those guys all get the hell out of there pretty quick smart. Don't get to see the Venerable Death Dread too much. And here come looters onto the field, probably getting, I think they get a beam weapon upgrade that allows them to attack these Death Dreads. We can get those weird rocket barraging orcs. I find that when I play my mate, those seem to absolutely crush my vehicles. This is a short-lived battle. He'll be able to teleport out of the way at any point he feels like it. So yeah, just back off and go do some capping or hit their power farm, which is what he's doing just here. Oh, punch that freaking orc boy in the face, man. Pow. Unfortunately, he goes for a sync kill. And Locklear, I guess the power is not really an issue now. He's about to go to tier 3, but he could have destroyed this farm instead of just leaving it open. He is trying to do the recapping, which of course is very important at the moment. We have one cap at the very top. He does have the bottom 2 caps. He's just got that with his Space Marines. The mech boy has changed to Daka Daka Daka, by the way, from that suppression unit. And again, those assault marines just showing their worth, just jumping all over the map, really hitting. And you can see already that the dire, absolute dire position that Locklear was in, it seemed, is not really as bad as you thought. There goes Daka Daka Daka. Those guys are going to have to get the hell out of there. Meow, charge and spam goes the Death Dread. I mean, Locklear's not in the still in the losing position, but he's not quite as bad as he is. He hasn't lost any units. His Tactical Marines are fully back, but he does have 2 scouts, which of course can repair and will be able to basically make this vulnerable Dreadnought invulnerable. Do have a second set of looters coming out. Interesting that he's not taking to tier 3 when he had the chance. He'll be able to just completely ignore those scouts until he gets the cap off. Meanwhile, there's a bit of a lull in combat at the moment, and here we go again. Those scouts have to get the hell out of there. Again, those looters just... Oh, here they are. And he does have the Deafy Beam weapon on both looters, which is to take out this Dreadnought, and this Dreadnought is going to be in a lot of trouble if both those... Bam! Look at that. Almost half health. And he's able to take those looters out. Will he get them out? He does not have a spare jump, unfortunately. But he will need to repair that Death Dread. And out comes a Predator. Boom, smack. Where's his scout squads? Looks like they're capping all over the map. He will need to repair this Death Dread at some point. Another war truck coming out for Norni. I think this is a pretty good idea, you know, get out the war truck. He'll be able to get his units closer in and out without that Death Dread really putting in the massive hurt. But unless he can find a way to really deal with this extremely strong Locklear Space Marine army, there's going to be problems for the Orcs. I mean, he had his window to really push and hurt, but you know, you just can't let Space Marines milk you for red and then drop out their massive tier 3 units, because those tier 3 units are fucking insane. Ooh. He's got his Looter's Cloak. That's a very cool little idea. He's covering most of this battlefield. Notice that he is covering each other. And there is the reveal on the Predator. Boom! Look at that. How insanely lucky. There we go. He's in range now. Now we should get some shots off at him. Who are you shooting at? This is a tremendous push. He does have the war building up. These all got buffed just the same way as the Chaos shrines got buffed. Oh, and we do have the reactor field running on the Tech Marine. He's got both his scouts repairing, and here you can see the double scout build to support his 2 mech choices. This is obviously a planned build from Locklear. Very, very, very precisely done. Shows great control, keeping all his units alive. I mean, Norni's kept all his units alive as well. But I'm really starting to feel that Locklear's starting to get the upper hand in this battle. I mean, he's got a VP lead now, and Norni just really doesn't have the unit composition to punch through this heavy mech play, especially with those scouts. And there's the GG from Norni. Very, very, very good game. Extremely well played by both players. Much better than the man casting. Okay, so exit game, is that the right button? And here we are, game 2 at Leviathan Hive. I just cannot say this name without saying it weird. You can't just say Leviathan Hive. You got to go Leviathan, the Leviathan Hive, where the Tyranids come to fuck you up. Okay, so here we are, Norni versus Locklear, game 2. That last game was fucking insane. I mean, Norni did a hard push, had Locklear on the ropes, pushed right to the boundaries, but Locklear, he stayed in form. He never ever lost his build order, and actually got the perfect response out, and came out tier 3 Space Marine, no dead units, all leveled up, mech versus bio, and just mopped up at that last game. And I mean, that is something that you see a lot of people complain about. But Locklear really showed why he is considered such a good player. And here we have a different build starting out. Locklear did get the Space Marine second this time, instead of going the double scout Space Marine. That's not going to really put too much of a difference, but it is possible that he was looking at his levels and he just thought that his Space Marine wasn't leveled up quite as high as he wanted. I don't really think it's going to make a huge difference. Now, last game they both went for very, very heavy, like a power-intensive T1 by getting early power armor. And I'll be interested to see if they do that again. I think Norni definitely needs to change it up from last time, because I mean, he played really well and was unable to take it out of the bag. So something different needs to be done this turn. Absolute rout by Norni at the early stage. One thing that those teleporting units are good at, you just saw it then, is chasing right into the base to try and get those extra model kills, because they can't teleport to safety and then retreat. But here you can see that typical I mean, a lot of people might have hit the retreat button. I know I might have. But being able to move your units back and forth without actually doing full retreat is a real mark of what separates the really good players from the average players. And here Norni is once again really trying to push his advantage with that early tier 1 orc ability to get more units on the field and get that map control. And this time I hope that he does capitalize on that and actually does get into the higher tech tree quicker, because even though he was pretty much owning the map, Locklear still got into tech into tier 2 before Norni did. So I mean, that was really, I think that really made a huge difference in that last game. But just being able to field extra units and not just extra units that are almost universally able to beat every single one of Locklear's in 1-1 battles. Meaning that Locklear has to, group up, so he's basically, say he's got 2 units, a scout and a marine stay together, and he's got another marine. If I have a look, he's probably got 1 scout and a marine. Oh, well, there you go. Obviously, I don't know what I'm talking about, because that's not what's happening at all. Okay, again, forcing in a melee, these guys do win that competition, and these will have to get the hell out of there. And that 3 cap that Norni had is gone oh so quickly. It's an ever fleeting thing. Boom! Off goes. So he is just getting bionics now, so he is going for that tier 1 power consumption. Now Norni has got quite a lot of wreck again, but not a lot of power. He does have 1 machine just going down now. Looks like there's been some harass going on with the flamers are out. This is this area of the map that you often see a lot of people never using. It's quite interesting to remember it's there. You'll find that a lot of sneaky Tyranid players will put a burrow just here because it's sort of out of the way. There's a couple of spots on the maps like that. Yeah, next time I see another one of those maps, I'll show you another. There's one, that one with the ground you can knock away. It's like, anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about a map we're not even playing, for fuck's sake. Anyway, back onto the power gens. This is incredibly good play by Norni. He does need to delay that power as long as possible. I think getting into that tier 2 last game before Norni really made a huge difference, and I think that's what he's trying to stop him from doing here. Boom. Norni is spending all his wreck on getting squad reinforcements, and Locklear does hit tier 2 early again. And this isn't good for Norni. There goes the battle. Beautiful use of the mech boy to jump into the background. I really think he would have been good to continue having his suppression war gear up instead of the Daka Daka Daka. Daka 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 is obviously good, but I think the suppression was good. But he does know that he's in tier 2 or going for tier 2, and getting these power bashes in now, this is the time to do it. You want to do it just as they've pressed the tier 2 button, or just before they press the tier 2 button, and that way they might be in tier 2, but they can't do anything with it. So we'll see if this is. I mean, we still only have 3 units for Locklear. So he has wreck saved up, humongous amounts of wreck, and these scouts are going to be bashed in the face. But of course they are being saved by these Space Marines. I don't know what that yellow glowing stuff is called at their feet there. That is probably an Orc Global. If someone could let me know, I would appreciate it. And out comes the Death Dread. I've been given official permission to use the term Death Dread by one of the people watching my videos. He gets very upset with me pronouncing all the names wrong. So I'm trying to make a concerted effort to please that one guy, but yeah, I can say Death Dread because it is one. Woohoo! It's a little weird robot Tinker Toy thing. And it is getting the burner bits, which will allow it to become quite nasty against those melee units. And here's the Razorback. They are going to get this second gen. Getting this power gen, hitting these gen farms is making a humongous difference to the last game, where those gen farms were completely, almost ignored. They will have to get out of here now, and he will get him with a swipe, smash, and get another whole bunch dead. That is such a powerful ability. And here's the tank busters I wanted to see last time, and orbs of Omnitia, whatever. He obviously saw that happen, that little bit there, and said, man, if only I had a grenade, I could have wiped that squad. And doing a little bit of reverse power bash here. Normally this wouldn't really matter, but they're so damaged from when the flamers got to them. Tank busters are out. These can make short work of Razorbacks, and they do have a bombardment ability, which is very, very good for controlling the map board. So we'll see exactly how that can be used later on. Again, you see just how tough Space Marines are, you know, mashed in the face by an Orc Dreadnought Death Dread, and they don't even care. There's the bombardment, completely missing, and this Razorback is in trouble. It's going to pull them right back to their base. They're going to have to get the hell out of there, and the hell out of there now, and the scouts will start repairing. Is getting a Devastator Marine squad. Interesting. I guess that's for the Death Dread, and it's also got a very, very powerful knockback ability. We are now at 400 to 295 in the VP situations. Norni is really putting up a good show this game. Boom! They are the most inaccurate weapons, I reckon, in the entire game. And here's the setup. Expertly luring that Death Dread behind. And boom! Another laser. Boom! And he is not... Boom! Oh, half health before he gets away. These guys will go down quickly though. He might get a kill here. No? But they are pushed all the way back into their base. And that Death Dread should... Ooh, he did get one kill. See him there? Ugh, I am a dead Space Marine. He does have all his healing units out. There is still no power for Locklear, and he is stuck just spending money on reinforcing. And if he can get this Razorback killed, which looks like he has the possibility to... Oh, the orb goes off, but it's not going to be enough. Oh, dang, yo. Oh, absolutely brilliant coup for the Norni army there. Ooh, and he almost loses his Death Dread at the very last moment. Those guys need to start repairing it. And Norni is now hitting tier 3. Absolutely excellent, excellent games here. Still no power, and no wreck, and nothing going on for Locklear at all. He does have a lot of wreck though, so he's going to use that to pick him up some assault squads and use the very last of his power. But that's really not going to be too much of a help. These guys cannot out-fucking repair a laser cannon, and that's it, you're dead. Sloppy there from Norni. I don't know where he's paying attention. He's down here, obviously. There's that yellow ability again going off, which obviously probably gives him plus attack plus defense. And Norni is now crushed. He's lost a whole bunch of units. He's only got his tank busters and his slugger boys. And Locklear is once again suddenly looking unstoppable. It's a real shame. Norni was doing so well in this game. I was really going for them, even though he's playing Orc, and usually people that play Orc, I just want them to, die, basically. Well, not so much die. Die's a little too drastic, but maybe fall down a staircase and fuck up their hip or something. That's the kind of thing that I would wish upon Orc players. But, having your army decimated after having what I would consider a pretty commanding lead. He is going to tier 3, so we are going to see knobs, so he's not out of it yet. But unless he can control that power farm, which is popping up now, Locklear is going to hit into tier 3 any moment. He has both his scouts, and of course then he can pull down the the venerable dreadnought again, have his repair teams up, and then we might see a complete restart of the first game. And you can see the actual want for power here. He is not going to destroy, he is going to recap, because he wants to try and boost his power gain and get into tier 3 and get out that, because he's already got the red, as quickly as possible. Fighting going on all corners of the map. These are going to go down if he does not retreat them. Oh, and they do. Norni, what are you doing, mate? He got too distracted, microing his hero, but he did stop the power grab, which is very, very, very important. But Norni is just losing units left and right. And what has he got now? He's got like a slugger boy and a level 1 tank busters, which is like what, completely useless against, what do we got here? Scouts, level 2 scouts, level 2 marines. Not good. The knobs are up, they have been revealed, and they are going to drive them off the VP. It is time for Norni to concentrate on VP control. But unless he can get down to that power and get down there soon, there's Locklear will be able to hit tier 3, and I think that'll be all she wrote. Knob Squad is getting the huge hammers, and we do see that we have upgraded to the plasma gun. And he is now getting the Signan armor. Some excellent use of tech switching on the Tech Marine. And this gives him that marked target ability, which is, there it is, you can see it going off now. And that is just absolutely insanely powerful, that ability. It basically just increases your range damage so much. I mean, he's got the extra plasma gun now as well. He's got the grenade to go against vehicles, which isn't much use. And Commando Squad coming out. Ooh. Now this is some tricky shit from Norni here. This absolutely excellent choice. I now have faith that he is going to pull it out. The simple fact that he's gone fucking commandos at this stage of the game, with the way the game is, means that he's thinking freaking smart rather than just complaining and like bashing his head against a brick wall of the Space Marine army. Let's see what he can do with these tricky units. I really think this is, like I said, he's got the VP lead. If he can control the capping wall, and there's the tier 3, and look at the red. Dreadnought is coming out any minute now. Boom! Open up, and they have to get the hell out of there right now. That is the most ridiculous ability. Seriously, look how they're just jumping fucking miles away to get away from those commandos, and you see already how much those commandos are going to change the state of the game, pushing that people all the way back. Gets the Tech Marine kill. I think that's the first commander kill that I've noticed since we started this competition, and look at the poor guy. He's all fucked up, and now he is recapping, getting those 2 caps back. This one probably, yeah, he's going to go for it with the knobs here, but I don't think he's really going to hold on to this. Like I said, I think I would have preferred to see him try and hit this power farm again. It is very well guarded though. This guy is facing the wrong way and is about to get a bad surprise. Boom! Shotgun to the face, and you can see the actual quite synergistic use of one scout squad with the ability to cloak and the others not. Running in and starting that cap really, really soon while drawing the fire of the other units. And here comes these commando knobs. Let's just see exactly what they're going to do here. Definitely do not want to attack that. They are going to go for here. Here comes the grenade. Boom! And oh baby, fuck! Look how tough Space Marines are. Gee, they're only half their health taken off. That is insane. They will have to get out of there. And Locklear is really, I mean, he's got a lot of, I guess he's just getting the wreck up. How much wreck has he got? Oh, he's only got 200. He needs quite a bit more wreck. So those commando knobs are just going to be doing a great service by just keeping those caps in order. Those guys are going to have to get out there now. We're going to see a grenade. He hasn't even got the ability to grenade, which is a shame because he would be able to drop on these guys without any problem. And here comes some Storm Boys. Nice, just changing up his build on the fly. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Norni here. Again, using that stealth ability to get into that capping position early. And boom. Storm Boys take out the VP cap. Absolutely excellent use of the Storm Boys here. He is getting improved rockets, and with any luck, I'd like to see him get that. Oh, he's already got the knob. Awesome. Meow. Saboom. These guys should just turn around and punch him in the face. Level 3 Space Marines versus level 1 Storm Boys would actually put up a pretty decent fight. What is Locklear waiting for? He's got wreck and power coming out his nose. Is he actually going for like the big massive tank? Because if he's doing that, I mean, he may as well just quit the game. Oh, here he comes. Boom. Going for the Marines this time. I guess he was a bit scared by the fuck, I love this game. Look how awesome the graphics are. But yeah, I guess he's a little bit scared by those tank busters. Boom, stealth and just run away. 195 to 71, absolutely coming down to the wire here. Do you have some back capping? back to the major fight again. You can see these Commando Knobs completely controlling the field with that knocking back ability. And this guy might go down again, and he does. Nice. Locklear feeling the pressure. Gets quite tense around this point in the game. Whoever fucks up first loses. This is not a particularly... I'm not quite sure why his entire army is retreating here. A couple of knobs versus a bunch of freaking Terminators. Seems he should not be quite as scared as he seems. Scouts are probably capping over here, yes, capping yet again. And these Terminators are going to be driven all the way home. And he's swapping his armor again. He swapped back to Bionics, and now he's swapping back to the Sigma armor to improve the range of those Terminators, no doubt. These bombers are a great choice. Like I said, it's a capping war now for Norni, and nothing disrupts cappers quite as fun as boom, these bomber guys. What are you doing, Norni? They're just standing there getting shot in the face. Norni, wake up! Fucking hell. There you go. Meanwhile, the Knob Squad is almost taken down by, fucking mark target. Absolutely crazy. Here comes the Slugger boys. They're not going to be any match. They're going to have to just get the hell out of there. We do have 24 to 141 to Locklear. Absolutely tremendously good presence by Locklear. I mean, every time I go to somewhere on the map and one of his units is just being attacked, it doesn't take him long before he moves them away. Really able to split his attention across multiple areas. Sign of a very, very good player. These commandos are just being MVP. And again, he's just going to push them out. And Locklear, if Locklear can't secure some VPs and secure them now, this is game over. He has put out a Tarantula turret to try and hold this one, but all these units here is just not going to really cut it. There's no one guarding this one. Well, they've got this set of troops here, but he has a lot of power, a lot of red, but he has no wreck, so we're not going to see any more call-ins. He can't use his repairing globals because he's got nothing to repair. Here comes the Knobs again. Knobs, of course, do not level up anymore. Norni badly needs that cap. Goes Blood Rage or something. I don't know much orcs very well. I believe that stops the Knobs being suppressed, that weird circle stuff around them. And lure them straight into the Tarantula turret. Unfortunately, it's not very well positioned. They can get us around quite easily. Boom! Nice grenade though. The repair is on from the scout, but it's not going to be enough. And these guys are all going to have to retreat, and that just was not done. Really, that could have been placed in a better position there. And probably two to allow them to cover each other would have made a huge difference. I mean, if you're going to spend the wreck to get one, you may as well spend the wreck and get two. You have the wreck. 15 to 58. This is down to the wire. This Terminator's popping around. There's only two left. And again, recapping to get the 2 cap. His entire army's in retreat. This could be a terrible mistake. He's only got 2 squads. This one is almost dead. He will not be able to hold. He does get the heal off. These guys are going to jump in and help out because he cannot afford to lose this node right here, which he definitely will. Down goes the Global and the Space Marines to increase their defense. Down goes Mark Target, and those are dead. Squad of knobs, and that could, oh boom, teleport out, and here we go, a 3 cap at these final seconds of the game. That mass retreat really hurting Norni. Just excellent use of the war gear on the Tech Marines, swapping between them when the situation arose. And now I think that's game. Norni's entire army is retreated. He's only got 1 guy out. We're about to get a 3 cap, and it's 15 all. What can he do? He has to get a cap, and he has to get a cap right now. 5, 4, 2, and that's game. Absolutely fantastic game by both players. I really think that Locklear played better in today's games. Like, he really was able to control what he was doing a lot more. You know, there was some terrible squad losses in both games to Norni, which really could have changed it. And also that allowing Locklear to get into the tier 2 so quickly without any harassing his power farm. You saw what a difference harassing his power farm in game 2 made. Now, I'm not taking stuff away from Norni. I mean, he's a very good player. I mean, but I just feel that today Locklear played better, and it was reflected in the final score. Well, so much for that. That was pretty awesome. Probably one of the most high level games I've seen for a while. Like, as in top players duking it out, being very, very high skilled. Excellent stuff.